Hi and welcome to my YouTube channel today. I'm Helen from stampinstyle.co.uk. Today we're going to make a mini A7 notepad using Graceful Garden and the Petal Garden Designer Series paper from Stampin Up. So I'll just show you the stamp set that it highlights is Graceful Garden, and the Designer Series paper is Petal Garden. Okay, so let's get cracking with that. I'm going to make it in different colours to the one I've just shown you. Just for today, I thought it'd be nice to make it in different colours. This one's made in Old Olive. So to make the project, so you need the stamp set and the paper pad. And today I'm going to make it in Pool Party and Calypso Coral. All the measurements will be on the coordinating blog post on my blog at www.stampinstyle.co.uk, so you don't have to worry about it whilst watching the video. So you're firstly going to take a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock and cut that to 7 1/16 inch by 4 3/8 of an inch, and it needs to be scored at 3 3/8, 3 11/16, and 3 15/16. And once you've done that, just sort of burnish it backwards and forwards like that. So give all three a thing. So then fold it back in on itself on the middle fold. Take a pair of scissors and snip in so you about an inch where you snip into the score line. Then you're going to take it, flip it back on itself, and then sort of poke through like so. So you end up with that bit sticking out like so. Right, so what I want to do next, alongside it you will need a piece of Designer Series paper, 4 1/8 by 2 7/8 for the front cover, a piece of cardstock that you're going to stamp on for the back cover, and that will be 4 1/8 by 3 1/8. For the inside you're going to make a little pocket. I need a piece of cardstock 2 7/8 by 2 1/8, and a little piece of paper to cover that, which will be 2 5/8 by 1 7/8. And you'll need 2 little strips that will stick together to make the closure. They need to be 3/4 of an inch by 3 1/2 inches. You'll need 2 little magnets. Then we're going to make a tag which will go inside the pocket, and that needs to be cut at 4 by 2 inches. Now in this stamp set you've got a large rose, this one just here. I've pre-stamped that in black, coloured it in with watercolour pencils, and the reason I've done it prior to the video is because I covered it in glossy accents and needed time for it to dry, and then I've just sort of fussy cut that out. That's going to stick onto my front cover. I've just put a few dimensionals behind it. So starting with the notepad, and the finished product, on the finished thing, the back cover is ever so slightly bigger than, say, slightly wider. So I like to do first, take one of your magnets, put a blob of glue sort of around there, stick the magnet down to it, and stick your designer paper over the top, and that will keep the magnet in place for the cover. Just stick that down. Using wet glue gives you a little bit of wiggle time, because I'm not ever so super accurate. and usually make a boo-boo of it. Okay, so that's in place. The next thing I like to do is stick my notepad in place. So make sure it's just an A7 notepad, and that's going to go on the back of the inside cover. Right, so wet glue again, which keeps it strongly in place and gives you a bit of wiggle time. So that's going to go sort of inside the back cover like that. Okay, back of 1/8 of an inch from the edge, from the top and the bottom, because this is going to stick down. Oh, I've missed a bit out. I'm going to take that back up ever so quickly because I've made a bodge. So what I've missed out doing is, on here you've got two bits. On this bit here you're going to put some red line tape, or you could use fast fuse. It needs to be like something really strong. You could use wet glue, but obviously I need to do speedy, so I'm using the strong tape. Excuse me, my dog's knocking something over. Right, okay, so it's in place. Peel back the tape, and it's going outwards, this is coming inwards, like yeah. So that's going to stick down there. So you see, like that. Right, so now I'll go back to sticking the notepad down. And you're just going to, oh my goodness, more fingers and thumbs. Okay, so about 1/8 of an inch from the edge, from the top and the bottom. That's it, down in place. Okay, so you see it's starting to come together. Now, next we'll take the two closure strips, and to stick a little bit of glue just there to get the magnet in place. And then the second one, I'm going to just glue all over it. And stick that down on top of the other one, so it sort of sandwiches the magnet in between. Wiggle that round. And, you know, sort of work them together, work the two sides together, so the magnet is sort of trapped in between. I might need to put a little bit more glue around the edges. Once you have that sort of stuck how you want it to be, and it's all held together, but just get your scissors and round off the edges. Of course you could use a corner rounding punch. Okay. Happy with that. Now you've got your magnet under there, so next step, you'll see, well you'll feel it, it's actually shoving it away. Oh, if I do that right, so that's in place. Now, you know, take the pad, turn it over, and just fold and bend that around to the back like so. We've got it in place. Just add some glue to the back strip. so, and just stick that down. Okay, now I'm going to pop that to one side now so it can all dry, and we'll do the stamping of the back cover. So I've got a little piece of pool party cardstock, and I'm going to take one of the images out of the Graceful garden. It's like a trellis stamp. I'm going to heat emboss this. So first thing I'm going to do, one down in this sort of corner here, overlap it a little bit, so pop it where you want it to be. I've already rubbed this over with an anti-static bag so that the embossing powder isn't going to go absolutely everywhere. So give it a good ink up with Versamark. Stamp down. I'm happy with that. I'm going to move that one out of the way. I'm just going to switch it up a bit and put it again in the top corner like so. So pick it up again with some Versamark, and the Versamark stays wet for a little while, so plenty of time to do this. Okay, I'm happy with that. So I'll just put that to one side, and I'll use some silver embossing powder just to emboss that image, and again to this corner. Okay. If you end up a bit like me, even with anti-static, you can just use a brush to get rid of any bits you don't want. Right, now I'm just going to go off screen and heat emboss that. All done. Happy with that. Right, so this bit that I've just embossed is going to stick on the back cover like so. So a bit of wet glue. Stick that down, wiggle it around, centralise it. Okay, I'm happy with that. And back to the front. I'm going to go inside, and this is where we can make our little pocket. So sticking the paper down to the front of the pocket. Don't leave the lid off your glue, that's a tip, then it don't sort of clog up. There we go. Then for the pocket, just put a little bit of adhesive on each side and along the bottom, even the top with no adhesive, so that your tag can sit in. Centralise that down at the bottom, stick it in place. Oops, like so. And then a piece of 2 by 4 inches cardstock. Take the round tab punch tab punch. Slide it all the way up to the top, punch down, and then you've got a little tag to go into the pocket. I've cut mine a little too long, and I did it longer than 4 inches. 4 inches should fit perfectly. There we go. So that's done. And finally, back to the front cover. I've got a little bit of adhesive on there. I don't know if it shows up on screen, but it looks a bit ghastly. I'm using my adhesive remover. Okay, that's lovely. Gets rid of that. So I just punched out a little flower with some silver glimmer paper. Just put a little blob of glue. That on where the magnet is. That just finishes it off. And then add your flower to the front. Like so. And finally, get a mini pen or pencil, whichever you fancy, and it slots perfectly into the little area at the side there. I do hope you like my project for today. All the measurements, written instructions, and a list of all the products used and a link to buy them is available on the coordinating blog post. You can see that by following the link that is down below, or just go to stampinstyle.co.uk and click blog, where you'll find the post. Thank you for visiting today. I'll be back again soon.